Hey everyone, welcome. Trying to get everything all ready here. How's everyone doing? We're gonna do some sewing tonight. It's been a hot second, like a week and a half since I've gone live. So welcome everyone. Oh, gotta turn that down. Need to have that ready so I can see comments later. So how is everybody doing? Welcome, and I'd love to hear where you're all from, what your sewing experience is. My name's Rebecca, if you don't know me. I am an avid sewist and just love creating things. So yeah, happy to have everybody here. We're gonna be making this cute little zipper pouch that has a waterproof lining in it. So I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, new from Nashville. Oh, you just started sewing in January. Oh, fun. Yay. I've never been to Nashville. It's on my bucket list. Here it's a lot of fun. Kind of like the East Coast Vegas. Vegas is a fun time. Oh, there you go. Gotta go while you still can, right? Sadly. Makes me so sad. Yeah, I went last week and ended up getting some of this vinyl fuse. That's what I used to make the lining of these pouches waterproof. So if you see some there, pick it up. But yeah, that's always been my go-to of where to buy my batting and interfacing and all of that. So yeah, so which one was that? So it's here, hold on. It is Pellon 102. I know it's mirrored, sorry, but it's vinyl fuse matte. And it comes on a bolt, and it has a paper back on it, but it's a clear vinyl. So that's what it is, and it allows you to make any fabric into essentially a waterproof fabric. So it's a wonderful find. But yeah, Pellon 102. So, yep, 102. Kelly Rowe. Hi, Kelly. It is so neat. It was one of my finds, oh gosh, last year. Because I think actually my husband wanted me to make him a bag. And he's like, but I want to put my stuff in it for travel. And yes, Pellon 102. You got it. Oops, I went to say that. That's all right. But yeah, I was like, how can I make it waterproof without using, you know, like a, what do they call it? A beeswax material, or, you know, like the vinyl tablecloth materials, things like that. And I learned online through some research, yeah, this works to make any material. So I'm actually using it to make just a solid color piece of quilter's cotton into my waterproof material. So yeah, and then I also am using my one-sided fusible flex foam. So I always pick some of that up. I buy it by the bolt. So that's, I don't know, I just like how it makes the bags able to stand up. I don't know, just one of my favorites. Oh, Jen! Yay! Jen Lag Designs. Hello! Welcome! And my mama's here. Hi, Mom! Yes, absolutely. Again, there's just something about it to make these little pouches especially. It's just, again, that stiffness. It just adds structure. I don't know. Just my go-to, I guess. So I don't know if you guys did, what did you say it was? Yes, Pellon 102 is the clear vinyl fuse. And that's what I'm using to make that lining waterproof. So, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it and all of that. So I made the one earlier today. I don't know, it took me half hour, 45 minutes total. The foam, well, I used to get it from Joann's. A moment of silence. But then I have, oh yeah, you're welcome. I know the fabric, right? It's so cute. I ended up, the most recent times I've ordered it online through Walmart. So if mine has it, I can ship if you need. I appreciate that. So you guys are going to think I have a problem. So here's one bolt of the Flex Foam. Oh, thanks for the gift. And then you're really going to think I'm crazy on this one. Hold on. Wait till you see this. Yes, it comes in like 5-foot widths. So, yeah, I have lots of it. So I was kind of shocked when that showed up at my door. Oh, thanks for the bear, Jim. I know. Yes, I am stocked. Absolutely. I know, right? The only thing I'm thinking with that, though, is it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to cut, but we'll figure it out. It's a good problem to have. So absolutely you need this bolt. So yeah, guys, I don't know again if you got to see my videos I did. Oh, yay. You're 70 and starting to quilt. Good for you, Jim. Yeah, well, I'm not too crazy. I'm 51 and I've been sewing. Actually, quilting is what got me started into sewing back when I was, oh gosh, I think I was about 11 or 12. And my grandmother actually sent me for my birthday a care package. Oh, yay! 51, 74, woohoo! She sent me a care package for my birthday and it had all of the materials and everything to make a quilt. And I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And my mom actually was the one that helped me learn how to sew. So she was the one that taught me and it was awesome. And it kind of, I guess, gave me the bug. But then obviously you get married, you have kids and, oh, you've been crocheting. I've never crocheted, never learned how to do that. I tried to knit, but couldn't crochet. But yeah, then you have kids and a family and your career and everything kind of gets put on the back burner. And now I'm an empty nester. And so here I am. I'm back to my love of sewing. So again, I'm glad everybody is here. And again, this is what we're going to be making tonight. So there is a video that I did earlier today that has all of the materials on it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Allie. And yes, Jen, I'm glad you're here. So, and I do appreciate the compliments. I try to be sweet. That's my personality. So what you see, this is me. This is who I am. And those that are on here that actually know me, even my mom is here. Please, this is who I am. So I make bags, and what all else do I make? So I do have my own website. I like to do markets as well. And I guess my thing is I like to make functional things. So I make wristlet keychains, scrunchy style, and just the wrap style. Yeah, definitely go check it out. I've started making scrunchy dog bandanas. So we've done that actually on a couple of lives. So my sewing machine, this is my baby. So it is a Juki DX2000 QVP. And I also have a Brother SE2000, which is a combination sewing and embroidery machine. So looking for presents to make. Oh, there you go. So I also make corner fabric bookmarks. I make cat toys, cat kicker toys. What else do I make? Oh, cozies, bowl cozies, ice cream cozies, plate cozies. Those are a lot of fun to make. They're kind of, I guess I'll say the word addictive to make. Oh, Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. So yeah, I like to make a lot of functional things, but my little tagline that I've come up with is I make handcrafted items to bring joy to your life. Do you ever do sew-alongs? Yes, that's what we're doing. Actually, that's my plan tonight. So we are going to make that little pouch. So that's what we're doing. Yes, I just like to talk a little bit first. So Do you sell and send the patterns? I do not. That's kind of on my to-do list. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, hello there, Lisa. Ruffled wood, Lisa. Yes, thank you. I do. This was a fabric that I've had in my stash for a while, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling it tonight. And hello there. So yeah, people are funny because we're kind of developing this little community here, and it's so funny because I do have a bit of a fabric hoarding problem. That's only a quarter of it. And everybody always asks, where do you find your fabric and where do you get it? And Joann's was my favorite just because it's local. Oh, thank you. Love my little fan club. Thanks for the rose too. Will you post this on YouTube? I have an appointment in 5 minutes. This one, I don't know that I was planning. Oh, yay. I don't know that I was planning to put this one on YouTube. But you know, again, as you guys, the ones that have been here with me, I am trying to get more and more and more. Guys, thank you so much for all the love, up on my YouTube channel. So I am trying to build that up, but I do also have a full-time job. So it is kind of tough to find the balance of, you know, making the videos, editing them the way I want them to. But I have thrown some of them up that are of, you know, these live recordings. So I apologize because some of them are like 2 hours long, and I know even when I'm looking at a YouTube video, I don't want to watch a 2-hour long video. So, but at least you can fast forward to what you need to see. So that's the good thing about it. But yes, tonight we are going to make this together, and I did make a video earlier that has the materials list on it. So if you want to just refer to that one, I think it was not the most recent one, but the second most recent one today. But to give you the rundown, for this project, to make this size pouch, which again, you can kind of see hand size for reference. So I just cut, and for these types of pouches, guys, you can actually, I get so bummed when I miss these. Oh, well, thank you. But yeah, there will be some on there, and I think there might be one already for a zipper pouch, but I don't think the one that I have on my YouTube channel has the little zipper tabs, which we're going to do tonight. So that's going to be probably the main difference. And yeah, this one I am doing the waterproof lining on. So that's the other difference, I guess. But you know, you can come back anytime, right? And you can always message me any questions and things like that. So I'm always happy to answer. So yes, we are going to get started. So you do need, for what I did for this project, I cut my 2 fabrics. So I need an exterior and an interior, or a lining, outer and lining. Okay. So for each of those, you need 2 pieces cut. So for my size, what I'm doing today, and again, that's the beauty of making these, guys. Once you know the technique, you could, yes. And it's one of those things that when you see it, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool to have. So, and especially again, for this application, again, think about a cosmetic bag, right? You want it to be waterproof on the inside so you can just wipe it down, right? So it's a little crinkly, but absolutely you can just wipe it all down. So it is a nice feature. Makes great gifts too. So, let's see. 2 pieces of your exterior fabric. I cut mine to 10 inches by 8 inches. Now, mine is a directional fabric. So again, for those that are brand new to sewing, directional just means that your print is going in one direction. So, see, I love this community. So for this project, again, if I wanted my little mushrooms to not be vertical and I wanted them, you know, horizontal, which in my mind kind of looked dumb. In fact, when I first cut my fabric, I didn't even think about it. And then after I cut it, Tara's here, yay! After I cut it, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, really? Yeah. So I had to recut my fabric. Also, I'll hear I made an account to strict. Oh, good. Yay. That's awesome. That's Allie, not all. Oh, geez. I got new glasses last week, so I've got my progressives now. I got to do this. So yes, pay attention to your direction of your fabric. All right. So don't make the same mistake I did. I recognize you, Allie. Okay, so let me grab my neck mount so that I can give you my POV. So I know it's like meeting up with old friends, right? Going back to all of the materials. I got distracted. Sorry, guys. So 2 of your exteriors, right? 8 by 10. 2 of your lining, 8 by 10, which you will likely end up trimming just a little bit. I know the gang is all here. Isn't that awesome? And then 2 pieces of the one-sided flex foam, that Pellon fusible flex foam. I cut mine to 8 by 10. And again, we're going to end up quilting the exterior pieces. And then 2 pieces of the Pellon 102. So that one, again, that's kind of a new one. We haven't really talked about that in my lives here. So, so that one is, again, it is Pellon, yep. Pellon, the actual name is Pellon Vinyl Fuse Matte. So that one, again, that's what's going to create the lining pieces to be waterproof. All right, so essentially it's a piece of clear vinyl that has a paper backing on it. So, girl, you better run, I know, right? My Joe's has been closing at like 7 now during the week. It's crazy, so. Okay, so let's get this down off of here. And then we're gonna turn you guys around. All right, here we go. Oh, gosh, it's so sad. Yeah, see, mine are still open till the end of May, supposedly, anyway. At least that's what they're telling us. Oh, I don't know, again, it's that moment of silence that we all need. Oh, I don't know, again, it's that moment of silence that we all need. Sorry about that, guys. Here I am. No, you haven't missed much. We're just getting started. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to plug this new phone in. I got a new phone and it's a little bit longer than my old one. So my charger isn't going to plug in. So that's all right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, which I should have done before I cut my fabric, but I didn't. I'm just going to press my fabric and, you know, get that so it's all wrinkle-free. And again, just give it a nice quick little press. All right, so gosh, it doesn't look like I cut a good rectangle here. Oh well. All right, then we're going to find that rough side of your flex foam, and we're going to put that to the wrong side of the fabric. And I just kind of flatten it out. And then I'm just going to give it a little press in the middle and then work my way out. And again, if you have used this flex foam before, the idea is you're just activating that glue, just getting that fabric to stick to it. And again, we're going to do some quilting. And I'm just going to do the vertical lines like I did on this one. So it'll go pretty quick. So I hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. Either those that are moms of kids or fur babies. That's part of why I've been missing. I went out to visit my girls over the weekend and had a wonderful visit. And actually we get to go back tomorrow because my younger daughter is graduating with her master's degree. So super exciting. So we're going to be celebrating that accomplishment. Yes, thanks. And again, guys, when I've got this close, I don't know that I'm going to be able to see everything. So thank you. And again, just getting this glue all activated. And I didn't cut this in a perfect rectangle, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Because again, we're going to use at least a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So it'll be all covered and it'll be just fine. All right, and then we're going to put on our tag, our branding tag, right? So I'm going to use this one. And again, for those that have seen me before, branding tag, right? So I'm going to use this one. And again, for those that have seen me before, you know how important I think branding is. And again, just you want to put your name on your products. So for me, what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to find the center. So I know it's 10 inches wide and it's going to be right in the center. And I know on my logo, this little rose that's on the bottom is the center. So I'm going to put it up towards the top. And as long as I put it in the same spot on both of them, I don't care how far down it goes. So I'm just going to give that a little press because it has the fusible back. And then we're going to sew that in place also. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on this one. So I'm just going to line those up. And we're going to go to get that squared up. And then I know this is going to be the center right there. And then we're going to give that a press. Very technical, as you can see. All right. So that's that. Let's see. Where do I get my fusible foam? This last batch I ordered from Walmart. I'm going to flip you around so I can chat and see you. And I used to get it, sadly, at Joann's. But yeah, now my go-to is Walmart. Just it's easy. It's, I don't know, they usually have it in stock. And let's see, what else? The wool mat, Lois Sparkle. The wool mat, I actually linked in my storefront, in my link tree. You'll see it in my profile. You'll find everything that well, not everything, most things that I use and I recommend I have in my storefront. So definitely go check that out because there's a lot in there. Used to be a manager for Joe's a few years ago. Oh gosh, I can only imagine. Especially if you still knew some of the people that worked there. Yep, materials and got from the Zon. Yep. Yes, thanks for all the congrats, guys. Husband took me to Hobby Lobby for Mother's Day. A fabric bouquet. Oh, that's the most wonderful gift ever. Some things at Michael's, but not much. Exactly, Kelly. Yeah, our Michael's around here do not have. Oh, Colleen, I'll get back to your question. Our Michael's, they don't have a very large sewing section. There's like one aisle. They're starting to bring in more fabric, but as of the last time I went in there, which, oh gosh, it's been probably almost 2 months now, they were just starting to get some fabric in. So my labels, I actually make my own labels. And there is actually on my YouTube channel, that was one of my TikTok lives that I posted the entirety of. I actually did one all about labels. I design them in Cricut Design Space. I cut them with my Cricut. And the material I use for them is, the ones I'm using today are this. It's the iron-on quilt label fabric sheets. I do have those in my storefront as well. So it's by June Taylor. As long as you have an inkjet printer, you're good to go. And I also use this one, which is a sew-in style. And that one, obviously, like the name says, is sew in. It's not a fused one. But that one I use for my bowl cozies, like you can see here. So I just have it double-sided because these are reversible. So I have that double-sided. I use it on my scrunchy dog bandanas. And what else? Oh gosh, my cat toys, things like that. So yeah, it's pretty awesome because you can make them however you want them, which is really nice. And let's see what else. Check Walmart. Yeah, see. Yeah, right now that's where I'm gonna end up. Yesenia, you're not super late. No, you're good. Heading to YouTube. Yay, good. I did them too. Love them. Yay. So yeah, we're actually just getting started. We just, like she said, adhered the flex foam to our exterior pieces. And then I also ironed on my labels. So I'm just going to be sewing those in place, and then we're going to do some quilting, and then we're going to continue on. So just joking, what are you making? We are making these little zipper pouches with a waterproof lining today. So that is, yeah, what we're going to do. All right. So perfect. I'm glad you made it. All right. So let's get these labels sewn in place. So again, all I'm going to do is just go right around the edge. And with this label, I just changed my stitch length. On my machine, I've just found that 2.8 seems to work. So I just do a little back stitch, and then I just go all the way around. When I hit the corner, just keep that needle down. So it holds its place. And then, again, we're just going all the way around. And then we back stitch. All right. And then we're going to trim that up. And I've just, I used my little lighter and I just hit it with some heat just to melt the end threads a little bit so that they're not going to come undone. Plus, it's just fun. I've never been a smoker, but using a lighter is always fun. Not for any harm, but you know. All right, so we're just going to do the other label on the other side. Same thing. And again, this step, of course, is totally optional. Again, for those that have been following me and watching me and learned how to make your own labels and whatnot, then absolutely add your own labels. Because again, so important. Take pride in your work. All right. So then we're going to use our little quilting guide. So if you haven't ever used one of these, highly recommend. Highly recommend. Sorry, I'm just trying to fire. Yes, Beavis, exactly. Love the mushrooms. Oh, thanks. On labels, they do get expensive on Etsy. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, going back to this quilting guide, most machines have them, or at least have them as an extra that you can buy. But basically this just slides in behind your presser foot. There is a spot, that little black piece. Ooh, there you go. That little black piece, it literally is just going to push through that. It takes some force, but it does just slide in. And it takes force because you don't want it to move very much, right? So once you slide it in, so you can see the other side came out, right? Then if you take a little ruler, yes, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. Speaking of a ruler, what I'm going to do is just end up putting my needle down, not on my ruler, but I'm just going to see, because I want it to be an inch width line. So I'm just going to slide that over so that I'm at a 1 inch mark. All right, so I'm at the 7 inch mark, and I just moved that guide to the 6 inch mark. So now I know that the distance between my guide and my needle is 1 inch. So that's what my spacing is going to be. Oh, have fun, Mom. All right. Actually, last night it was fun. We ended up going to bingo together, and I actually won. It was fun. Yeah, I really feel like an old lady now, but that's okay. But yeah, going with my mom, and that was a good time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I put my label in, but because I also want my lines 1 inch apart, what I'm going to end up doing is actually sewing down the center right to where my label is, and then I'll backstitch, and then I'm going to start up again at the bottom of it, because I don't want to obviously sew right over the top. But I also didn't want to do that quilting line first and then put my label on, because then when you sew your label in place, you're going to have a ridge right in the center, and I didn't want that to look stupid. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So again, I guess that's a little tip for you. So here I'm just kind of eyeballing. Again, I know my little rose, which you probably can't see, but it is there. I know that's the center, so I am literally eyeballing a straight line up from there. And I'm going to just start my quilting, but I'm going to change my stitch length to a 4.0 for my top stitch. And then we're just going to go, like I said, right to that top of my label. I got to move my iPad, but that's how I'm seeing all the comments, because I want to make sure I'm not going to go right onto the label. So back stitch one time, cut it, and then we're going to bring it right down, and we're going to start again. And then we're just going to continue down in a straight line. And if you're having a hard time doing a straight line, that you might want to draw a line, or use like your Hera marker to just put a little crease in the fabric so you are doing a straight line. All right. So now that we've got that done, this is where this quilting guide comes into play. So I'm just lining this up with that stitch line that I just did, right? So it's right on the line. And that's what I'm going to pay attention to as I sew. I'm going to make sure that this stays on that line. And this is just a thread that I didn't sew over it. All right. So again, that's what I am watching. So as I go, again, I'm just paying attention to where that quilting guide is. Okay, and then again, we just continue on doing our quilting. So, oh, and actually another trick that I should show you guys, which I should have done with this one too, is just continue on with all of the quilting with both of them at the same time. So, since I'm doing them the exact same, I might as well chain stitch quilt, if that's such a thing. I don't know, maybe we just created a new thing. But it just makes sense, right? Because again, if you're going to be doing it the same exact way for both pieces, you might as well just stitch it right along. 2 for 1. Oh, gee, that fabric. Isn't it so cute? It's like a pastel, almost a coral, like an orange coral, light coral. It is really pretty. This one, I'm trying to remember if this was a Joanne find. feel like it might have been. I can go look at the fabric itself. And that is so fun about when you watch these lives, you know, or just other people's videos for that matter. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do it this way. Just seeing what everybody finds, you know, and how you put things together and just the creativity that is behind it all. So this line I didn't do, but I did on this one. So we're just going to bring it back. And then this is the one where I'm going to go right to my label. And then we're going to go over the label. And I don't know about you guys, but quilting is so therapeutic for me. There's something very about the repetition, I think, that's just so peaceful, calming. And I love to see the little puffiness, you know, after you're going along. It's like it comes to life. And I think that's the other part of why I love it. Hey, Terry, we are making this little pouch that has a waterproof lining in it. So it's kind of it's a matte vinyl. We are using fusible foam. You got it. That's kind of my go-to, I guess, for my bags, or my pouches anyway. I guess for a lot of my bags too. I like the structure that it gives. You know, to see a floppy bag makes me sad. So, you know, having the fusible foam, obviously it gives it more body, more structure, and it allows them to stand up. So yeah, that's my go-to, my preference. Have I found it anywhere for a good price lately? Yeah. So my go-to has been Walmart. Now that Joann's is closing. And I did, earlier this evening, I did show the huge bolt that I got. It's like 5 feet in width. It's crazy, crazy wide. And I don't remember how much I paid for it. So the little thing on my sewing machine is called a quilting guide, this thing right here. And that's what helps you just stay in a straight line. Obviously, if you're doing free motion quilting, it's not going to work for that, but that's what's literally helping me follow along so that all my lines are going to be parallel. Most machines will have an attachment for it. If it didn't come with it already, you should be able to go online and actually find one. So, all right, so now that I have chain stitched all of those, I'm going to just clip all of those threads from in between. All right. Okay, and we are going to trim up some of our other threads as well. Just because when you start getting everything sewn together, I mean, it's inevitable that you will see little tiny threads, but to try to get rid of some of them now is probably a good idea. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so it's been a hot second since I've done a live. I think it was like a week and a half ago last time I went live. And again, I went out of town and just didn't have a chance to go live. So that's why I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it tonight. So glad y'all are here with me. All right, I'm not going to go too crazy because we can always trim afterwards. Okay, so now we've got our outer, let's get that one before I forget to do that one. Now we've got our outer fabrics pretty well ready. All right. So now we've got to prep the lining fabric. And again, this is where we're going to make it waterproof, right? Oh, I've been missed. Thank you. Game changer. Yes, it is a game changer. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. All right. So, okay. So before, my little iron turned off, so we're going to get that back on. I'm going to just give my interior, my lining pieces, just a quick press, because again, you can see that it was folded. So we're going to get that all ironed out. And you do want to make sure that your fabric is wrinkle-free before you adhere the vinyl fuse to it, because otherwise it's going to be a hot mess. So, all right. And it's a really cool product. And again, I don't know if y'all were here when I first started this evening, but so it was like a year ago, I was working on making a travel bag for toiletries, actually for my husband. And he wanted it to be waterproof, in case like his cologne or his, body wash or whatever spilled. And I was like, okay, well, there's got to be a way to be able to do that. So I just was doing a little online research, and I found, lo and behold, Pellon makes this Pellon 102 vinyl fuse, it's called. And basically it's got glue on one side of it, and it is a clear vinyl. So you can make your whatever fabric you want into a waterproof fabric. So kind of a cool concept. So that's what we're going to be using. All right. So I already cut my vinyl fuse into my 8x10 pieces. All right. And on this, it does have a paper backing. So you just peel it away so that you've got your little glue side against your wrong side of your fabric. Actually, no, the right side of your fabric, excuse me. On mine, it doesn't matter because it's single color, but whatever. But again, whatever side of the fabric you want showing on the inside of your lining, that's the side you're going to adhere this to. So once you press that down, kind of smooth it out with your hands, you're going to take that same piece of paper and put it face down onto your vinyl, and you're just going to do a quick sweep of it. Okay. And again, that's just activating your glue. I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm just going to, because when you iron it, the heat wants to make it curl. So I've just been learning that I'm going to put it face down so that curl, it can't curl. It's going to stay flat. Okay. So that piece is now ready. And then we're going to do it to the other piece. Okay. And again, I did a terrible job cutting a straight rectangle there, but whatever. Okay. So again, we're going to peel that off. We're going to put the glue side down on our right, we'll call it the right side of your fabric, even though again, mine doesn't really have a right side, but that's okay. Flatten it out with your hand. I'm going to put that face down, that paper that it came on, and then again, give it a little press. And you do want to make sure that you're not going directly on your vinyl because it will melt it. And then you'll be sad. Ask me how I know, because I've done it before. So, all right. Let that cool just a little bit. You also want to make sure that you don't have any of your little tiny threads underneath your vinyl, because obviously you're going to end up seeing that. Okay. Just tuned in what kind of vinyl. So this is a Pellon 102 vinyl fuse, it's called. And yes, so, yep, Pellon 102. And yeah, we're making these cute little pouches. It does have a waterproof lining, so it has kind of this crinkly sound now. But again, you'd be able to wipe it down if anything spilled in it, which is a really nice feature, right? Okay, so that's that. Now we've got our 2 pieces of lining. We've got our 2 exterior quilted pieces. And next, we also are going to do zipper tabs on our zipper. So the other thing you're going to want to do, because after, as you know, after you quilt your fabrics, it does shrink it a little bit, right? So we're going to want to cut our linings to match the size of our newly quilted exterior pieces. So what I'm going to just do is line it up, and then let's see how terrible it is. Oh, it's not that bad. Okay. And then we're just going to trim it up. Okay, so I'm going to go grab my rotary cutter, which is over here. And we need a cutting ruler. Let's grab the longest one I can find. That's smart. All right. And again, we're just going to line it up underneath. All right. So it's not a perfectly squared up rectangle here. So let's see what we can do to fix that. All right, because if you don't have it perfectly squared up, it is going to alter the entire bag. So you do want to kind of get it as squared as it can be. All right, there's that. And all right, and then we'll cut this one, trim it up a little bit. Okay, so that's that. And then trim up the other one. Yeah, this one it's terrible. Good Lord. I don't know what the heck I was doing, but that's all right. Again, this is I'm not an expert by any means, but doing the best I can, right? And so all we're doing out here in this world. Okay. But I think that's part of the beauty of sewing, you know. Nobody else is really going to know. Well, you guys are, but that's all right. What happens on TikTok Live stays on TikTok Live. Okay, so we're going to call that good enough. All right, so now, whoops, we are going to get our zipper ready. So I get my zipper by the yard. Good Lord. And you want to make sure that it's cut an inch shorter than the width of your exterior. Okay, so I'm just lining it up over here, and then I can see that I'm at about an inch, and that's going to be fine. Okay, so and that's what, you know, again, people are going to ask, what are the measurements, right? Well, again, just whatever you're making, you can make these pouches any size you want. And then again, just whatever width the top of your bag ends up being, you just want to make your zipper an inch shorter because you want to allot for your zipper tab, right? and you don't want to end up sewing over your zipper tab. So now I'm just working on getting this zipper pull, which is always a bit of a challenge, especially when you've got people watching. All right, good enough. Okay, so I like to pull the zipper and undo it on the other end and then bring it up because I never get it so it's perfect, as you can see. That's all right though. Okay, so then we're going to end up doing our zipper pulls, or zipper tabs. Sorry, guys. So my zipper tabs, I cut 1.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches long. And really, it comes down to how wide your zipper tape is. So I cut mine just a little bit wider than that, as you can see. So even if I would have just done, you know, 1 inch and I don't know, probably 1.25 inches, that would have been fine, but you can always trim it, right? So what you're going to end up doing with your zipper tabs, you're going to end up folding in half and ironing. And then you're going to end up folding each of those ends. You open it up, fold in each of those short ends, and then fold it again, and then we're going to press it again. So you just did that little hot dog style, right? So we're going to do the same on the other one. Fold it in half. That's why I love this little wool mat, because it's right in my sewing area. I don't have to go to, I have an ironing board and a full-size iron in my laundry room, which is kind of around the corner, if you will. But it's just nice to be able to literally turn and do a quick press of whatever I need to do, right? So, okay. So then, sewing thing autocorrect. Where do I get my zipper by the yard? I get it from the Zon. Yep, I do. And it's actually in my storefront. So, let's see. Oh, yes. This is the one we're making. Yep, waterproof lining. Sorry, guys, when I've got the camera on my chest, I can't read it. So, but yes, it is Pellon 102. And thank you so much for helping, guys. I appreciate it, giving all the info. All right, the Zon, yep. And Wawak, yes. Yeah, Wawak is a good site to get a lot of supplies from, too. Fairly reasonably priced, and they're pretty quick in their shipping. Okay, so for the tabs, now I just opened up what we just ironed, right? So I've got the right side to the top of my zipper. So here's my zipper pull, right? So I'm just lining it up, raw edge, at the end of my zipper. And we're gonna, yes, thank you. I appreciate your help, guys. So we're just gonna sew that in place. I'm gonna use about 1/4 inch. Oop, I don't need my quilting guide anymore, so we'll take that out. Slide that right out. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna just stitch that in place. Again, about maybe just slightly over 1/4 inch. So maybe 3/8 of an inch. And my zipper is a metal zipper. So, oh, and I'm back on my 4.0. I got to put it on my 2.4 length. So when you're going over a zipper, you do need to be careful. And I know everyone is kind of holding their breath, myself included. But again, as you guys know, I've, broken needles doing these lives before. It's not a big deal to me. So once you've got that sewn in place, I'm going to fold it back and then fold it over. Okay. So now I've got it folded right over. So you can see it just like that, right? And I'm just going to take a little clip and I'm going to clip it in place. Some people do like to actually sew across with a little top stitch right here. On my little bags, I like the look without that stitch line right there. I don't know, I just think it's a cleaner look. So I'm not going to do that, okay? Where do you get your double-sided interface foam? So this is actually a single-sided fusible foam, flex foam. Oh my gosh, say that 5 times fast. And I've actually been getting it now from Walmart. So yeah, I have over here, that huge thing is a bolt of the one-sided fusible flex foam. Huge. Cute fabric, thank you. But yeah, it is a huge bolt of it. But pretty, I don't know. I mean, it's expensive no matter where you go, I guess, but I don't know. Convenience. So, I think what I'm going to do is just do a little stitch across here to hold that closed. Almost like just a little basting stitch. Just use my hand wheel just to make sure I'm not going to break it. All right. Then we're going to use our other zipper tab. And again, we're going to line that we opened it up, unfolded it, right? So now the right side is together with the right side of the zipper. Going to bring that back over to the machine. And again, just over a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, maybe about 3/8. And again, I've got my stitch length at about a 2.4 on my machine. So it's kind of a standard length. And I am back stitching at the start and stop. I don't think I said that, but. And then we're going to fold that back over and then keep the other side folded. And then you've got the other side now done. So we're going to put a little clip on there. Okay. Just to hold that until we're ready for it. Okay. You can at this point trim that excess, which I will do. And again, it's always good. You can cut things smaller. You cannot make them longer very easily. You can, but it's not very easy. Okay. I broke a needle on my machine yesterday. It made me it's scary and it catches you off guard. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but boy, it does catch you off guard. That's for sure. Okay, so now we're going to take and make our little zipper sandwich. Okay, so you're going to take your one exterior piece, make sure you've got the top where your zipper is going to go. And again, mine is directional, but it's actually both ways. Some of the mushrooms are upside down and some are right side up. So whatever. But because I put my label here, that's going to be the top. Okay, so I'm going to take my get my lining piece ready. Take my zipper. I'm going to flip it so the zipper pull is down, right side down. And this is where, I'll come up here so you can see better. You want to center your zipper, and there should be a little bit of an excess on either side, and that's to allow for your seam allowance. Let me get one more clip. So then I'm going to take my lining piece. So this is the side that has the vinyl fuse on it. This is going to be my right side, my pretty side, right? So you want to put that pretty side down on top of your zipper. And again, this is where I always tell you guys, do your visual, right? So when we flip this over, you want that to be on the, how you want it to be, right? You want it to be on the opposite side, and that will do it. Okay. So again, it's always good to have kind of a check and balance, if you will, checks and balances. So again, that's just how I like to do it. Okay. So now that we're getting this in place, I'm going to take that clip off so that I can line that up where it needs to go. And again, I'm just checking to make sure it's going to be centered. So we'll just slide it just a shade. And then I'm going to put that lining piece right side down. And then I'm going to clip it. Okay. We're going to do the same on the opposite end. Take that clip off. I'm making sure that it's lined up at the top of my exterior piece. And then we're gonna slide that on, kind of pinch it all together and clip it. And then I'm gonna take a third clip and put it in the middle. So I'm just gonna make sure that everything is lined up right at the top and then clip that, okay? So now we've got our clips in position. We're gonna take it over to the sewing machine with a 2.4 length, okay, stitch length. And we're gonna switch out our presser foot for a zipper foot, okay? Because you definitely want, if you have one, obviously it's ideal for sewing on zippers, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have one. Again, it's just a lot easier if you do, all right? Because that helps to gauge exactly where you need to sew your stitch line. I can line up the edge of that zipper foot right on the raw edge, and I'm just going to follow that all the way down. Now, right here is where my zipper pull is, so I know I need to kind of go slow as I approach that, but I'm going to backstitch first, because what will happen is it's going to end up getting in the way of the side of my presser foot, and then that stitch line is going to go all wonky. So what I'm going to do is just reach underneath, and right now I'm just going to open the zipper a little bit more, so I just pushed it further towards me. Now I'm just going to make sure that I'm still lined up with everything. Everything looks good. So we're going to just sew a little bit further down, and then keep my needle down, lift up my presser foot, and then I'm going to move that zipper back. So I'm pushing it behind where my presser foot is, okay? So I'm going to take that clip off. We're going to continue on. Again, just every so often, just take a look and make sure your zipper's still lined up. Take out that clip. Yeah, we're still good. And then backstitch. Okay. So then when you open it up and you flip it over, and give it a little bit of a tug, I'm going to bring it back to the machine, kind of get it in place. And I'm going to use about an eighth, about an eighth of an inch seam allowance here when I'm sewing the top stitch. So I'm going to use the 4.0 length on my machine. We'll get it started. Sure we will. With that vinyl, it does have a tendency to get a little bit stuck at first, but once you get it going, then it tends to slide no problem. All right, so I'm just kind of giving a little tug underneath of that lining piece, and then I'm just going to kind of hold it nice and taut. And then we're just going to top stitch right along that zipper. And then we're going to back stitch at the end. Okay, so that's what you end up with. Nice little top stitch line. Okay, then we are going to take our other exterior piece. Okay, we're going to make our other side of the sandwich. So that's going to go face up. We're going to take our entire piece that we just did. We're going to put that face down. And again, if you're just thinking about what we just did, just think about your zipper, right? Don't think about everything else you just did. Just think about your zipper and how we just did that before, right? So we lined it all up on the top. And then you're going to take your lining piece. And again, this is the right side. This is the wrong side. So it's going to go right side down. Because again, when we flip it over, we want that right side to be on the right side. How's that for being profound, right? Brilliant. Okay, so then we're going to do our clipping in place. And then clip right in the middle and clip at the end. Okay, and my zipper pull is down here. Yes, I do add branding to both sides, so there you go. That's how I did mine for this. And again, like on here, there it is. Just adds a little bit of a pop, I guess. I sure did. Again, such an important thing for me. I just can't tell people that enough. Put your name, take pride in your work. Okay, so then we're just going to do the same thing we just did. We're back stitching at the start, and again, my zipper pull is right here, down at the end towards me, so we're good for a while. Again, just make sure you're still lined up where you want to be. And then as I'm getting closer to that zipper pull, needle goes down, presser foot goes up, reach underneath, and move that zipper. And then we're going to back stitch at the end. All right, then we open that up and get those two sides together. I'm just looking at this because I didn't end up cutting my fabric perfectly square, so it didn't quite catch that fabric right there. So I'm actually going to go back underneath and I'm going to stitch that a little bit further in just so that it will catch that fabric. Okay, and again, that's just something that you have to watch for. Not the end of the world, but I didn't want that raw edge to be showing, so now you can't see it. Nobody will know. How did you cut the thread from the sewing machine? You don't have to hold a few inches of thread to start. So no, this machine, dumb question, do you have a camera strapped to your head? Amazing filming. So this, I have my neck mount. All right, that's how I'm doing my filming. So yeah, nothing amazing by me, but just having the right piece of equipment. So yeah, this machine has the automatic thread cutter, and it just automatically cuts it to, this 2 inches? So it's ready to go for the next time. So again, just one of the many features I love about this machine. It is a Juki DX2000 QVP. So yeah, that's my machine. It is, I have that on my Amazon storefront. So, if you are in the market for one, highly recommend this machine. Again, the Juki brand, is definitely, it's an amazing brand. Their industrial machine, and the Juki brand, is definitely, it's an amazing brand. Their industrial machines are fantastic. I don't have one, but so I'm just doing the top stitch, guys. But I mean, this has stuff that I haven't even started using. The number of decorative stitches that it has is ridiculous. But yeah, highly recommend. Okay, so we did our top stitch there. We're all set with that. Okay, so we're starting to get to a bag shape, right? So we're going to do boxed corners. And I did use a guide, yes. Oh, there's Alicia. I did use a guide to do the quilting. Yes, highly recommend using a quilter's guide. Most machines do have them. Highly recommend. Otherwise, draw lines or use a Hera marker. That does work well too. But absolutely. Let me take a sip of water. Okay, so we're going to do the boxed corners, right? I was in listen only for a bit. Where don't you like to top stitch? Nope, I do like to top stitch. When you flip over your, after you've sewn your zipper in place, I always do the top stitch here. So that's what I was talking about. And then I ended up having to sew a little bit more because I didn't quite catch, because I didn't cut my fabric in a perfect rectangle. So it didn't quite catch up here. So I had to sew a little bit extra. And that's why it's looking a little crooked. So, but again, most people aren't going to notice, especially when it's zipped up. So that's that. All right. So again, boxed corners now is our next step. So what we're going to do for that, I mean, you can do this a couple of ways. We want to cut, and again, you can decide how big you want your bottoms to be. That sounds funny. How big do you want your bottom? Well, not very big, really. This one I cut 1.5 inches. Okay. Looks like mine, LOL. Keeps the fabric out of the zipper, yes. Yeah, the big tab at the end, yeah. But if you wanted to do, just cut 1 inch square, obviously this box is going to be a little bit smaller. So again, you can do it however you want. Maybe for this one, just to show the difference, I'll do 1 inch instead of the 1.5 inches that I did for that one. Again, just so you guys can see what the difference is. So I just take just a quilter's square, and I'm looking at, actually not that side, we'll do this side. So on this one, just 1 inch. So this is 1 inch square. So I've got my lining piece and my exterior piece. They're lined right up. So all I'm going to do is take my little square and put that right at the corner. I'm going to use the fabric as the guide, not the flex foam. So just so you know, don't come after me. Like, that's not 1 inch. So I'm just going to do my cutting. No, I won't cut my hand live. That would be terrible. Oh my gosh. And then I just take my scissors and finish it off. Now my lining, actually, I do want to go back and take a little bit more off. I like to do my squares on my lining pieces slightly bigger than, I guess, a bigger square than what I do for my exterior. Because if I make them the same size, I don't know, it just seems like there's too much lining fabric, lining material on the inside. So I like to cut these squares a little bit bigger for the lining, and that way it ends up just sitting a little more nicely, I guess, in the inside. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to end up going back and trimming up the lining squares here. But we'll finish up these first. Probably should use my bigger scissors, but these are the ones that were close by, so that's what I'm using. And then last, and I mean, you can mark these, with a washable marker. You don't have to do it this way, but however it works for you. Okay, so then we'll just take off a wee bit more. So maybe we'll do the 1.5 on the lining fabric. 1.5 1.5. So now we'll do 1.25 inches. There we go. Might do it this way. It might be a little easier. Again, the beauty of going live. This is me being very authentic, guys. Sometimes I just wing it, you know? So 1.25 1.25. Okay. And then we're going to go here. We're going to go inch and 1/4. All right, and then we're going to do the same on the other side, 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. Okay, and last one. Probably should have just drawn squares, but whatever. Keeping it real. Okay, there we go. So from here, we are going to match up our lining pieces and our exterior pieces, okay? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna line those up. We're gonna take some of our clips and we're just gonna clip in place. I don't think I'm gonna need that anymore right now, so we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna clip these in place as well, just to hold everything together. Now, when we go to sew this, we're gonna sew pretty much all the way around. We're gonna not sew the corners yet, so you're not gonna sew anything here. We're just gonna end up sewing the long edges on both sides. We're gonna sew this edge of the exterior piece, and on the interior, the lining piece, we're going to end up leaving a pretty big gap because you want to be able to turn this right side out with ease. So, oh, Laura, it's okay. This one I could probably post this one. I wasn't planning to, but I can. So yeah, if you want to head to my YouTube channel, I will post it to there at some point, hopefully by tomorrow. Because the biggest difference with this one, two differences. We're doing a waterproof lining, and we also did zipper tabs. So there are a couple of differences on this one than what is on my YouTube channel already. So yeah, maybe I will just post this one. All right, and this is what it's going to look like. Although we're doing a slightly smaller boxed bottom, so it won't be quite as wide on the bottom. But that's okay too. Okay, so, oh yeah, you got it. Okay, so we are gonna do our sewing now. Oh, let's switch out our presser foot. We don't need the zipper foot anymore. And it looks like we're gonna win maybe the game of bobbin chicken. We'll see. But let's get our other presser foot on. And I'm going to use about 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're going to back stitch. Oh, we're going to make sure we're at a 2.4 stitch length. Back stitch at the beginning. We're going to go across here. And then we'll back stitch at the end. And then we're going to go down the edge here, and when I get to where the zipper tab is, we're going to end up just pulling it taut. And you want to make sure that you're not going to go over where your zipper tab is. So again, that's why we needed to make sure that there was going to be a gap there. So I can actually feel that's where I need to go to, okay? So that's my 1/4 inch seam allowance that I'm doing. Okay, so you can kind of see on the side here what that's going to look like, okay? And then I'm just going to back stitch a couple of times over that edge. And I just want to make sure that it's not going to be too different of an edge, because I do want my little boxed corners to line up. And back stitch at the end. You can always trim up your boxed corners if you need to, so don't worry too much about it. Okay. So again, we're going to back stitch. Just coming down the other side now. And then again, get a nice pull. And again, don't go over your zipper tab. Okay. Then we take off that bottom clip because everything is nice and sewn together. And again, this is the end that we're going to keep that gap open. So we're just going to sew just a little ways, back stitch at the start and the stop. Again, the bigger gap you leave, the easier it is to turn right side out. So keep that in mind. Oh, yes, it's more to stitch up, but trust me when I say you're going to want a big gap to turn this right side out. Okay, so let's trim up our threads on that. Okay. All right, now we need to sew up our boxed corners. And again, if you're finding that it's, you know, way off, you can recut your squares. So I'm just taking the two sides of the box that we cut. Now again, with that vinyl in there, it gets a little bit tricky to pull tight, but you're pulling it so that your seams are going to line up with each other. And then you're just going to bring that to your machine, and I'm going to, oops, sorry guys, you're going to nest your seams. So all that means is we're going to fold one seam to one side and fold the other one in the opposite direction. Okay. And then we're just going to use about 1/4 inch seam allowance, back stitch. I like to go over the seam a couple of times just to make sure it's going to really hold in place. Oh, you do want to make sure that your zipper is open, which mine is, but now is a good time to make sure it stays open. All right, so again, we're just going to nest our seams together, again, folding the one direction and then the one in the other. And all I'm doing is making sure that I am folding this seam in the same direction. Just makes it a little bit easier to handle. Okay. And then we're going to bring this back to the machine. And again, it's kind of like wrestling an alligator. Not that I've ever wrestled an alligator, but okay. Then we got to do the same for the corners of the exterior. So we're just going to open those up. And this one, it's harder to nest your seams. So if you can, try to open your seams. Here we go. again, go over your seam a couple of times. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. Again, match up your seams, open those seams as best you can. It's not the end of the world if you can't get them completely open, so don't stress too much about it. And then like that one, it just folded over on me, so I'm just going to raise my presser foot, get it back down, and then continue on. Go over that a couple of times and back stitch at the end. And again, you want to trim up your loose threads. Okay, just to clean it up a little bit. Not that anyone's going to see them, but I don't know. It's just nice to do. Okay, and then the fun part. Was there a pattern? There was not. My needle size is an 80-12. That's kind of my standard that I'm using. So yeah, the needle size 80-12. And for Pat, the lining is I just used a quilter's cotton, but then I applied a Pellon 102 vinyl fuse, it's called. Where basically it allows you to use any fabric and it'll make it into a waterproof fabric, which is kind of a cool thing for the inside of these bags, and that's why it sounds so crinkly. So yeah, it's definitely a nice, I guess I'd call it an interfacing, especially for these types of cosmetic bags. So I'm just kind of reaching in and going to be pushing out everything just to straighten it out. Push out those zipper tabs because you want those nice and flat. And then for your lining, because you still have that opening, well, first we want to push out our boxed corners. So get those pushed out, because you can't push them out once you sew up that hole, right? And then for the lining, we're just gonna try to fold that nicely. You can't really give it a press because you will melt the vinyl. I mean, you could use that paper that it came with, but it's easy enough to work with, I think, that you can just kind of finger press it, I guess. So then you're just going to line that up, and then we're going to bring it back to the machine, and we're going to sew real close to that edge with a 2.4 stitch length because you want it to really stay closed. Back stitch at the beginning. And I'm just looking to see exactly where I need to sew to the end, and that's way down here. So we're just going to follow along that edge. And back stitch at the end. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. All right, so let's trim up those little threads as well. Okay, and then we're just going to push that down and in. Try to smooth out those boxed corners on the inside and push them into, obviously, the corners of the bag. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. You know, we could have added a little inside pocket, you know, or a little tab, or like a little tab that you could hold to close it. But again, for the basics of learning. So again, I wanted to show you guys the difference in, the size of the boxed corners. So again, this one compared to this one, right? Big difference, right? So same, it started out the same as far as the same dimensions, but, oh, Cortland, New York, no kidding. But it looks quite a bit different. So again, that's the beauty of sewing. You can find how you want your bags to be, how functional you want them to look. Again, do you want it fatter at the bottom? Do you want it taller? And again, you can make it however you want. You made a nameplate. Yes. Yes, I did. Sure did. Way better than the purse I attempted the other day. Cleveland, thank you. It looks wonderful. So let's see. So this one, if we look, oops, let's do it this way. This one is what, maybe 6 1/4, 6 1/2, no, 6 1/4, by, I would say about 7 1/2 inches at the top. And then this one is going to be 5 1/4. And again, you can see at the bottom, just 5 1/2 inches or so at the bottom, but obviously wider at the top. So nice. Thank you, Carm. Thanks, guys. Yeah, and again, this is what I am really enjoying to do, and going through and taking my time and helping other people learn and see how I do things. And again, that's the beauty of sewing. Oh, thank you. You can, well, obviously you learn from your mistakes, right? We all learn from doing. And if you don't like how something turns out, I got to change up the measurements or whatever. So, do I purchase my zippers in bulk? I do. I get them on Amazon. Ooh, there we go. I know the mushrooms, aren't they so cute? Oh, thank you, Lisa. Definitely. I think I need a beginner class. Well, again, we can go as simple as you want. Zippers, I was always intimidated by zippers up until about 2 years ago, actually. Thanks for, oh yeah, you're welcome. Made my opening too small the first time. Absolutely. And again, you'll know for the next time, the bigger is better for that. And so, yeah, the bulk zippers I do get on the Zon. I have some linked in my storefront, so you can check out there. And what's nice is, and actually I'll show you guys. So again, I might have a little bit of a problem. Let's see. So these are all of my zippers. Now, what I did is they came in this huge bag, and I don't know, maybe it's OCD or whatever. I put them with their zipper pulls, the matching ones. But like this one has like a gunmetal black, and this one has the rose gold, and the rose gold teeth. But then I got the package that has the rainbow of colors, just because I'm like, I don't know what color I'm going to need. So, that's what I ended up doing. So what else? Love your corners. Oh, thank you. Yes, Gabby, I do. Oh, well, yeah, I have not put these on there, but if you are interested in one or the other, absolutely, just send me a message. And, because if I put them on the website, I don't know how long they'll last. So, gotta run. Nice that you stopped by, Mama Fitbit. Love that name. Am I sewing more? Probably not much more. Pellon, the Pellon vinyl is 102. That's what fell on the floor earlier. So that's what this is. So there you go. 102 vinyl fused matte. Shoulder strap bags. Ooh, yeah, that would be fun. Actually, was it last Christmas? I think it was. I decided sorry guys. my niece and my best friend's daughter, they're pretty much the same age, I decided I wanted to make them both a crossbody bag. So that was a lot of fun. And from what I understand, they both are still using them, which is really cool. Zippers were scary to think about, but I found them quite easy when I did one. Exactly. You jump right in, you learn the technique, and it is easy. Bye, Susan. But it does take practice, just like with anything in life, right? You know, you've got to jump right in, learn from your mistakes, and realize that not everything you do the first time is going to be perfect, and that's okay. So, you know, definitely. Oh, thanks for the follows, guys. So the next time I'm going to be on, let's see. I've been trying to do twice a week. This week is a little crazy too because my younger daughter is graduating from college with her master's degree. So I'm going to be out of town for that to celebrate. Maybe Saturday night, maybe Sunday. Yes, thank you. Super proud. So what I try to do is I do try to post. Yes, thank you. I do try to post when I am going to go live, so definitely make sure you're following me. And then usually on my profile page, you'll see the event, the TikTok event. Yes, thank you, Julie. Oh, thank you, Gabby. I will go check. I appreciate that. I know, right? Master's degree. It is fun. Yes. So yeah, I do try to post the event on my profile page so that people can be aware of when I'm going to plan to go live next. So that's where you can find where it's going to be or when it's going to be. And maybe we'll go back to kind of our basics because it sounds like we've got some new folks here. And we can do some of our more truly beginner-friendly projects. You know, maybe like the fabric bookmarks. Those are fun to do, easy, and a great starter project. We could do the wristlet keychains, but that you need the hardware for, so maybe we won't do that. We could do the scrunchy dog bandanas. Claudia, I am in the Eastern time zone. Oh, thanks, Susan. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and again, I do enjoy this. It's a lot of fun for me, and we definitely are building this little bit of a community. I mean, even right now, it looks like there's 83 people here, so that's fantastic, you know, to see that people are enjoying this and sharing and following and all of the things, right? Because that's what keeps me motivated to want to keep doing this more. Again, I have this love for sewing. I am not an expert. I am just a regular empty nester mom. Oh, thank you. Who's, you know, just trying to spread some joy in this crazy world that we all live in, you know, and, again, just having this nice little community, it brings me joy. So I appreciate y'all being here. Oh, Shelley, thank you. So yeah, we'll plan. And again, if there are any projects that any of you are, you know, trying or working on or, you know, whatever, share them with me. Tag me if you do videos. Oh, thank you. I appreciate all you guys too. But yeah, tag me in your posts or send me an email with pictures. I know Lisa has done that. Oh, thank you. Has shared a lot of her pictures of things that she's done watching my lives. And I've been putting them up on my website too. So at the top, you'll see I think I called it a student showcase. So, oh, thank you. But yeah, it's a lot of fun for me to know that there are other people, like-minded people that are out there watching and learning and, you know, going on their own sewing journeys, you know, with a little bit of guidance. And that's what we're all here for and trying to help each other out. So, so on that note, I think I am going to call it an evening. And again, thank you all for being here and joining me and spending your Wednesday evening with me. And then hopefully I will catch you on the next one, which hopefully will be Saturday or Sunday. All right. Thanks, guys.